fields of existence with armies of golden spines. Roam the fields of existence with armies of golden spines. Roam the fields of existence with armies of golden spines. Roam the fields of existence with armies of golden spines. The tree body, the symbolic capacity of the tree body as the vehicle for taming lightning capacity. The symbolic anatomy of the tree body as a vehicle for taming the lightning logic, the lightning logical capacity. The lightning logical capacity. The lightning-like logical capacity. The symbolic anatomy of the tree body as a vehicle for taming lightning-like logic. The symbolic capacity of the tree body as a vehicle for taming lightning-like fabric of time, lightning-like capacity of story. Taming passion as caliber of precision. Taming the lightning-like brutality of passion as mathematics of precision, as inhabiting the symbolic anatomy. Taming the lightning-like capacity of purified desire into the mathematics of the precision of symbolic anatomy. Precise motions of the symbolic anatomy as a vehicle for multi-dimensional dialogue, as a vehicle for the dialogue of fields as a vehicle for the dialogue of fields, as the vehicle of the precision of will. Taming the brutal, beastly force of will, taming instinctual power into capacity for precision. Taming physical space as the desired host of logical space. Taming the pure ecstatic flesh of any symbolical motion taming the precise nature of the ecstatic substance of physical space into exact mathematics of purified will, into exact mathematics of the logical anatomy, the symbolic anatomy. The symbol body as a vehicle for the desired dialogue between beings of pure space, beings of pure logical space. The fabric of pure ecstasy, which is physical space, the exact fabric of pure ecstasy, which is physical space. The taming of the exact fabric of pure lightning-like ecstasy, which is physical space. The discernment of the exact fabric of lightning-like ecstasy, which is the nature of physical space. Taming the decisive capacity of the symbolic anatomy for entry into this lightning-like skeleton of a new species of existence. Taming instinctual capacity into logical precision of will. The raw force of exact desire, the raw vector, the clarified vector of exact desire translated into a new caliber of time, a new caliber of will, a new caliber of the possible. Let us create such a discipline. Let us enter such discipline. Let us stand in this fragile space of the possibility of a discipline of taming, lightning-like capacity. What do you mean? 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 Let us attain this discipline, this exact discipline of taming lightning-like logic. Let us stand in the marrow of the possibility of such discipline. One hand stands as physical space, the other hand moves as the symbolic anatomy that can discern logical spaces. One hand shall move as a vehicle for discerning stories in physical space. The other hand shall move as symbolic anatomy. There is a fabric of poetic clarity. Let's say there is a fabric of poetic clarity when you can discern a certain caliber of experience. So let's say this is the intimacy of marrow dialogue, the intimacy of marrow dialogue, the intimacy, the bright, sharp intimacy of the cave dialogue, the bright, sharp, dark, the bright, dark, sharp, velvet marrow of the cave dialogue. The bright, sharp marrow of the cave dialogue. The bright, sharp, velvet marrow of the cave intimacy, the primordial intimacy of the thick, warm, velvet, sharp, dark, void, of the cave marrow. Establish the sequences of this discipline, establish the nature of this discipline. What is it? The taming of the raw force of instinctual drive, clarifying the intelligent vector in the exact substance of instinctual drive, which is the very fabric, the very taste of adventure, the very fabric of the adventure that is truly yours. taming the raw force of exactly purified instinctual drive attained at the level of the symbolic anatomy. Taming the discipline of the lightning capacity of the symbolical presence of a tree body. The adventure of this process is like this. The adventure, the taste of the adventure of this process is like this. The logical taste of the drive, the logical architecture of the vector of the drive, the vector of the thrill of this process is like this. I stand in clarity about the exact electric taste, the exact intensity of the adventure that I long for. I stand in firm, exact discernment of the taste, the caliber, the power of the adventure that desire communicates in its purified substance. And I translated in an adequate formulation as what can I do? What can we do? What can I do? What can we do to stand in a life that is precisely defined in the fabric of such capacity? What can we do so as to stabilize, to establish a caliber of story that would be adequate or that would be in true coherence and integrity with the lightning-like quality of most intimate excitement, which is the pure substance of desire. What I want to do is this. It is quite a simple pursuit. I ask myself, how come it feels untenable, unsustainable to live in full intensity? To live in the caliber of a fully attained story. Why does it seem as untenable? Why does it feel as impossible to live in the fabric of time, or the fabric of story that feels as most exciting or most thrilling or most desired? Why does it feel as untenable? Why is it defined in terms of intensity? Why does one feel like to live in full intensity is anatomically impossible? This is a very simple question. Why does it feel as untenable to live in exact, precise, stabilized intensity of full enthusiasm? This is a very simple question. The unobvious answer is the unobvious piece of the puzzle is related to precision. Refinement of the capacity of will. The unobvious answer is related to the refinement, the precision of will. What do you mean? I use the metaphor of lightning-like logic to indicate the thrill of standing in the center of your exactly felt adventure. Most exact substance of desire. And I use the metaphor of tree anatomy for the complexity of it, for the it feels like the complexity of a tree presence is the unfolding in space of the brutality of a lightning-like intensity. Translated in experiential terms, the stabilizing of the intensity of enthusiasm, or the thrill of adventure, or the power of desire or passion, can be tamed in the realm of precision, the realm of precision of will. Which would require a redefining of what motion in space is. So there is the advanced complexity of anatomical movement in pure physical space. And there is the complexity of the powers of various types of drive within the anatomy of movement. All of the advanced mathematics of drive. It feels like opening the kingdoms of a new mathematics of will, when all the subtle equations of drive are fully owned, creatively owned. All the mathematics of pure drive at the level of motion, anatomical motion in space, completely clarified as I would say motion in time. I would also say, I use the metaphor of the beasts of pure space, or beings of pure space, or discerning fields of story, discerning logical fields. It's like there is a translation of the intelligence of motion into symbolic intelligence, which is the body as an exact symbol of presence, or the body as an exact symbol of attitude, would be an antenna for an exact story field, and thus all motions would be redefined as a dialogue between various story fields, or a dialogue between states of being. This is what I mean by symbolic anatomy. When the capacity of presence or the creative responsibility of pure presence or all the subtle mathematics of impulse, of drive, of instinct become equations of the exact dialogue between states, between morphologies of story fields. So then the body becomes a very precise antenna. Like a symbol that can make story fields meet. The second method is the split body of a simultaneous standing in two domains. One is the conventional, the other is the transcendental. So you can stand simultaneously in a logic of motion that discerns poetical states. So I can say I can stabilize a certain quality of experience with one hand, which may be, in my case, let's say, the intimacy of most profound encounter, like the primordial, like a dialogue between two lovers or a dialogue between two monks or between two friends that feels like happening in the primordial substance of the warm void. So one hand can stabilize the motions of the poetic quality, and the other hand can just travel in the conventional configuration of time and space. The other hand can simply move through various memories or projections of possible experience in space. For example, in the present moment, all the persons that you consider as existing around you or near or far, one hand can act as an antenna in the conventional field, be it time or space, and it can establish forms of relation or forms of translating shapes of experience and their possible dialogue into the poetic quality that is stabilized by this other hand, which stands in the, let's say, transcendental side of the split body. So you can shift attention from one into another when you feel the loss of adherence in one domain. You just move into the other to taste other nuances of their equations. So that will inform the motions in the other. And all that happens here will happen in the power of most exact excitement or enthusiasm or desire or passion or ecstasy. For there is a threshold of power needed to stand in transcendental precision. There is a threshold of power, just like a rocket needs a certain power to move out of the atmosphere. So this kind of work can only happen beyond the threshold of exact lightning-like power of will, which is translated into precision, which is manifested as the logical precision in this newly attained anatomy of will.